Hello, my name is Estelle Mamaji, and I'm part of the leadership team for Amazon. Welcome to the presentation. I will be talking about one of the top most admired company in the United States, published by Fortune magazine. In the US firm are rated on 8 dimension and international company are rated on 9 dimension. In this presentation, I identify a major issue the organization is facing and in which of the 8 dimension it is underperforming. I will then identify whether the organization embodies the principle and value of a conscious culture and management and it's relevant to improving organizational function is throughout and well integrated. I will also propose a plan to bring about necessary improvement using the 8-step change model throughout and well integrated. Okay, so the company that I chose is Amazon. Amazon.com Inc., also known as Amazon, was founded as an online bookstore by Jeff Bezos in 1994. And in the span of a few years, Amazon became the largest internet retail company in the world. So Bezos named Amazon after the Amazon River in South America. By 2020, Amazon has expanded into an online market selling a vast variety of products and services. So Amazon become known for its stunning stock inventory, bold creativity, and range of services. So by 2020, Amazon employed more than 798,000 people, making it the biggest private employer in the United States. Okay, and in September 2018, Amazon became the second US company to be valued at more than $1 trillion, following Apple, which reached the mark, which reached that mark not too long ago. Great. So the most admired dimension that Fortune magazine uses to rate companies are innovation, quality and management, social responsibility, long-term investment value, quality and product service, social responsibility, the wise use of corporate asset and people management. So this information is found in the Fortune magazine website, and it is very important because it tells us how the company were able to gain their revenue and achieve the level of importance that they have right now. All right. So Amazon is facing issue on the way it deals with employees. So this issue results in the underperformance of the people managers, which is one of the 8 dimensions that Fortune magazine used to rate companies, right? So Amazon had too many workers, first of all, and an unusual problem, and that's an unusual problem for the United States, our second largest private employer, right? The company said on the quarterly earning call that it hired too quickly in its warehouse during the pandemic to keep it up with the demand of hand sanitizer and masks. I was asked to cover for workers who caught the virus, right? But moreover, beginning in 2020, Amazon received some backlash. I mean, the COVID, right? Pandemic, saying that they failed to actually have some rules in the warehouse, like social distancing and health guidelines. Also, Amazon has some labor practices that was not good at all. One of the practices they have is called Taylorism. So this was named after an engineer, Frederick Taylor. And Taylorism is a system of scientific management that require an industry to time and measure or work tasks to determine the fastest and most efficient movement to process in the organization workflow, right? So employees are then trained to follow this movement precisely to increase productivity. And at Amazon, such task has shelving and as like shelving, packaging, loading, and uploading are broken down into small tasks all of which are measured and timed. And also, there was so much, employees were working so much that the compensation wasn't being increased either. So for the ramification, so identifying the ramification. So because of all those issues that Amazon had with the labor force, there was really high employee turnover. So people were quitting all the time. There were like class action lawsuits that was filed against Amazon, right? And also there was unionization, especially in New York warehouse, where the actually workers actually were concerned about the coronavirus safety, and then which stays open even while stay at home order were in effect because they were considered essential work. Right? So the organizational structure and design and culture, right? So Amazon has a hierarchical organizational structure. All right. And the internal forces that they have, I create a SWOT analysis to be able to determine the internal and external forces. So the internal forces, they have strong global brand as a strength, and then they moderate and increase business diversification. They have high capability for rapid technological innovation, especially in online services, right? One of the internal weakness, they have limited business model. They have limited global market presence, and they have limited brick and mortar presence, right? And for the external forces in opportunities, they have stronger international market presence by increasing penetration in the market. The expansion of brand brick and mortar business operation, and also new partnership with other firms, especially in developing market. And the threat, the external, another external force, they have aggressive competition with online and non-online firm, a cybercrime, of course, with the internet and all the hackers nowadays. Cybercrime is a big threat, it's a big external force, and imitation of business model and product. So a lot of people right nowadays you can see created like sites like Amazon, like Etsy, for example. That's one good example of another big online retailer like Amazon. The strangling dimension, okay, the organization effectiveness. So Amazon has the strongest brand right now. They're the strongest online. So this is internal factor is partly responsible for the company rapid growth, especially when it was still a purely e-commerce business, right? And the potential change in structure is that it may also being perceived positively by order and related to greater power and influence. But because Amazon was able to accomplish so much and grow so fast, the company was given by the Fortune magazine, right? And people see the company as a powerful one. Amazon did not treat the employees well by having some negative labor practices. I'm sorry, that's the potential change in structure, right? And as a result, the company has high turnovers. Again, so I'm sorry, I have to go back here. For the potential change of structure, I'm sorry, I got confused a little bit, sorry. So Amazon has a business model that other organization has imitated. For example, other firms can establish their own e-business website, and the analysis that I did show that data immutability is seen as a weakness that encourage more competition, especially in terms of online services. Also, Amazon limited international presence, along with limited penetration in developing market, weakness to business. Okay. So next, conscious capitalism. So one way that Amazon actually practice conscious capitalism is through the acquisition of Whole Food. So business organizations have often been accused of excessive and uncompromised focus on the pursuit of on the pursuit of profit and obscuring the social and spiritual dimension of their member who seek a participate in the community and give meaning to the action. So I talked about it earlier, like Amazon was focusing more on profit, so they have really bad labor practices and a lot of employees complain, especially in the COVID-19 period where there was no help, um there was no protection for them, and they have a lot of lawsuits. So Amazon was more focusing on making money than taking care of the employees, right? So, but Amazon did not demonstrate conscious capitalism through the way that he was treating his employees, like I was saying. But they did show commitment to conscious capitalism by acquiring for Whole Food. Much of the Whole Food success is due to his abandonment of conscious capitalism, like for tenant higher purpose, stakeholder orientation, conscious leadership, and conscious culture. So in order for Amazon investment in Whole Food to pay it off, then the CEO, Bezos, must make good on his promises to empower the old CEO Mackey towards nourishing and growing the very culture, stakeholder, and leadership practices which enabled the company to deliver on its purposes. So I believe that through the acquisition of Whole Good, Amazon was showing that he also care and he also wants to be involved in the community the way that Whole Food was doing it. So in order to lead change, Amazon can use the 8-step Amazon can actually use the 8-step from quarters for the change model, right? So what Amazon can do here, they can first of all establish a sense of urgency by identifying area of improvement such as labor practices, limiting global market presence, and imitation of business model and product through the need assessment and focus group. They can also recruit manager and consultant to lead the change initiative, right? They can also and then they can define the resolution vision with more engagement with employees, for example. They can communicate the vision through committees and empowering and empower members to have their voice heard, empowers others to act on the vision, like the leaders and employees. They can plan for and create short-term wins by comparing the new and old model in order to recognize early success and communication to the company as a whole internally. They can consolidate improvement and produce still more change by providing feedback to leaders. And lastly, they can institutionalize new approaches by planning for long-term implementation. So the lesson I've learned from Amazon is that being perceived positively by others is related to greater power and influence. It may also help employees succeed in political environment, right? And especially companies as well to succeed. So impression management is a process of portraying a desired image or attitude to control the impression others has for us. So because Amazon was able to accomplish so much and grow so fast, the company was recognized by the Fortune magazine, right? And people see the company as a powerful one. However, Amazon did not treat the employees well, which created a lot of negative impact on the company by having some negative labor practices, like I said before. So as a result, the company has a high turnover and multiple class action, like I've just said. So Amazon should try to change the way that they lead, right? They need to be more as a servant leader and try to put the employees first. It may also help employees succeed in political environment, right? So they need to try to focus more on the employees, create an environment when people are happy to come to work, and then motivate those employees so they can be able to serve the company more so they can achieve the goal. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.